David Wallace-Wells, who you may remember from his 2017 New York Magazine piece, has written an opinion piece about climate change for the NY Times called Time to Panic. In it, he urges that it's time for urgent human action on climate change, time to stop treating it like a problem and start treating it like the crisis it is. The age of climate panic is here. Last summer, a heat wave baked the entire Northern Hemisphere, killing dozens from Quebec to Japan. Some of the most destructive wildfires in California history turned more than 1 million acres to ash, along the way melting the tires and the sneakers of those trying to escape the flames. Pacific hurricanes forced 3 million people in China to flee and wiped away almost all of Hawaii's East Island. We are living today in a world that has warmed by just 1 degree Celsius (1.8 degrees Fahrenheit) since the late 1800s, when records began on a global scale. We are adding planet-warming carbon dioxide to the atmosphere at a rate faster than at any point in human history since the beginning of industrialization. In October, the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change released what has become known as its Doomsday Report, a deafening, piercing smoke alarm going off in the kitchen, as one United Nations official described it, detailing climate effects at 1.5 and 2 degrees Celsius of warming, 2.7 and 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit. At the opening of a major United Nations conference 2 months later, David Attenborough, the mellifluous voice of the BBC's Planet Earth and now an environmental conscience for the English-speaking world, put it even more bleakly: if we don't take action, he said, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon. Scientists have felt this way for a while, but they have not often talked like it. For decades, there were few things with a worse reputation than alarmism among those studying climate change. This is a bit strange. You don't typically hear from public health experts about the need for circumspection in describing the risks of carcinogens, for instance. The climatologist James Hansen, who testified before Congress about global warming in 1988, has called the phenomenon scientific reticence, and chastised his colleagues for it, for editing their own observations so conscientiously that they failed to communicate how dire the threat actually was. This essay is adapted from Wallace-Wells' new book The Uninhabitable Earth, which is out tomorrow. In his travelogue of our near future, David Wallace-Wells brings into stark relief the climate troubles that await, food shortages, refugee emergencies, and other crises that will reshape the globe. But the world will be remade by warming in more profound ways as well, transforming our politics, our culture, our relationship to technology, and our sense of history. It will be all-encompassing, shaping and distorting nearly every aspect of human life as it is lived today. More about books: David Wallace-Wells' Global Warming, The Uninhabitable Earth.